So when Botman comes back into the side, it's Lascelles getting back in the team now. It's Lascelles staying in the team now.
Well, I brought this up a couple of weeks back.
Yeah.
You went good him that night, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
That's horrible, that, isn't it?
Well, I can remember that, and I can give him his flowers where it's due. Yeah. Not like some people over here, anyway.
You're playing games like you're a little.
Welcome to NFTV Radio. It's just after 1 PM and it's a cold afternoon on Tyneside. Temperatures are around 6 degrees Celsius today. The faithful Toon Army are around St James's Park, soaking up the atmosphere in the local pubs and bars. The international break is finally over and it's back to what fans love, domestic football. Chelsea are the visitors, with new manager Mauricio Pochettino still trying to get a grip with his new club as the currently sitting mid-table. Meanwhile, Eddie Howe is hoping his injury-ravaged squad can welcome back 2 or 3 of their stars.
Don't wanna want you. Why do I want you back? Don't wanna want you. Why do I want you? Don't wanna want you. Why do I want you back? Don't wanna want you. Why do I want you? Na. You're playing games like you're a little boy. Na. I'm not your toy to play with anymore.
Isak! Newcastle have an early lead! Look at this pass from Miley. Cucurella easily clear on one side, but as he faces up to goal, he's got the composure just to get away from Sanchez. It's a brilliant finish. Raheem Sterling! Well, that kind of sums up his season. A fantastic finish from Sterling, and Chelsea are level, just like that. Spark holds its breath. Trippier! Oh! It smacks off the bar from Kieran Trippier. So close. Gordon! Oh, what a chance! And what a goal! Jamaal Lascelles! And what a cross this is! He controls it and gets it away from Sanchez. He finds the corner. It's a very controlled header. Oh, what a mistake there! Joelinton! Thiago! This was error! And 2 quick goals for Newcastle! St James's Park pressure. It's Gordon! A pulsating performance and an absolute dream of a scoreline for Newcastle this, as Anthony Gordon gets it right and gets in on the act.
It's 5 p.m. and Newcastle United have defeated Chelsea 4-1 at St James's Park thanks to goals by Alexander Isak, Jamaal Lascelles, Joelinton and Anthony Gordon to keep the pressure on the top four in the Premier League. As fans start to leave the ground in jubilant mood, let's head to Johnny, Carl and Lee to discuss the main section in the last word today.
And we are here at St James's Park. As you've just seen the clips before, Newcastle have just beaten Chelsea by 4-1. This is the last word, and Lee, the international break seems a long time when you haven't got a lot of football. We knew that we needed the rest in terms of a player point of view, but from a Newcastle buyer's point of view, thinking, such a long time without football. Just before we go into the team news, just initial reaction, how good was that today?
Well, it was great just to have football back. I know I've beat the women's last week, but still it's not the same as, you know, your bread and butter, the men's, because it's a totally different environment with the women's football. But I was just looking forward to getting back, no matter who the opposition was. But it was absolutely second half. I'm sure we'll talk about was demolished. But I think Chelsea will probably help a little bit with 2 of the goals. But it's just great to be back in it.
Oh yeah, it's so good. It seems like such a long time since that Arsenal game, Carl, where we won by a goal to 0, and believe it or not, Mikel Arteta is still talking about it, still talking about that goal. I'll keep on talking about it as well, because it was a great finish from 2 yards out. But let's talk about this game. Let's talk about the fact we've just beaten Chelsea 4-1. Team news: Lewis Miley retained his place because Joe Willock and Sean Longstaff didn't make it. Sean Longstaff, we knew it was 50-50. Willock has injured his Achilles. Now, we don't know how bad it is. We'll hear from Eddie Howe shortly. But when you hear that, you're thinking, that's just not what we need. When you look at the bench in particular, Carl, 3 goalkeepers, 4 kids, and Matt Ritchie and Paul Dunne, with the greatest respect, you didn't think they'd play a lot of football this year?
No, it was. I was already thinking it was going to be a relatively difficult game. I think Chelsea were just about... People were talking that they were going to turn the screw and start to click a little bit, and I thought they'd just done that with the international break, and I thought they're going to be coming in. It's going to be strong, and obviously the news about Joe Willock, I was like, oh no. And then so we were like, who's going to start? And then obviously you see Lewis Miley, and I was a little bit sceptical, but to keep it short, he did very well today. He did very, very well today. So thoroughly deserved win. Lewis Miley really hold his head up high. He really stood in there for the likes of Joe Willock. 17, is he? 17, I think?
Yeah, 17, 18, nothing more than that.
Didn't look out of place at all. Fair play to the lad. Great win.
Yeah, and you look at Chelsea, obviously they're coming back from a 4-4. It was a fantastic game of football before the international break against Manchester City. Really, really good game to watch. Likes of Cole Palmer, Nicholas Jackson, Raheem Sterling all started. No Moises Caicedo, he came on midway through the second half, but that Chelsea team is still strong and can cause problems. But Lee, it was Newcastle that got the first goal, and Alexander Isak. We haven't really touched about him when talking about the team. We're more talking about the midfield. But great to have him back. Great finish. But Lewis Miley, what a pass! To have that composure in the box and to play that pass. I don't think any Chelsea player expected it, but I think likes of Eddie Howe and Jason Tyndall probably expected that, because that's how good this kid can be.
First of all, it is cold, by the way. That's why I'm dressed like this. Carl's dressed because he's just dressed like that. But anyways, yes, it is cool.
I just want to give Carl a cuddle, like literally, like you just want to give him a constant cuddle.
Where's the penalty spot?
Yeah, basically that's what it is. It's someone said to me before the game, said, "Look, that lad's wearing the fucking pitch as we're walking in."
You know, Adam Phillips is loving that right now.
You know.
But what was the question? Oh,
Yeah, Isak's goal,
Yes.
but talk about Lewis Miley. How good was that in terms of the pass to lay it on a play for Isak? Couldn't miss, could he?
I think it was a mistake for them not playing Caicedo today, just from their perspective. But because Lewis Miley didn't look out of shape today at all against the Chelsea midfield. Let's face it, it was still an experimental stage. No Pochettino, obviously. He was banned, obviously, so I don't know if that had a hindrance on them. But yeah, a fantastic little slip-through ball. He was all over the place. He was doing the Longstaff role today because I think, I'm not saying he's an automatic replacement for him, but he's capable of doing a job in that kind of Longstaff role. Great through little pass to Isak, and it's so good to have a striker up top. Either it's Wilson or Isak, and it's a great finish. We're 1-0 up, the place is bouncing.
It certainly was. It was a great moment.
It's great to have Isak back. And just a point on the lineup as well, and we probably talk about the Paris later. I think the starting lineup is the same starting 11 for Paris.
There's nobody else left. There's literally nobody else. We'll talk about Paris later, though. Yeah, perfect for Newcastle. I think that was what we needed, that goal, just to kind of relax the place and go, well, we know Chelsea are a good team, but we've got the first goal. But it didn't take too long for Chelsea to equalise. Chelsea on the counter-attack managed to be in a position where Raheem Sterling was through on goal. He was kind of running out of space a little bit and kind of a bit undecided what to do. And Trippier with I don't think it was the. I think it was a very. It was. I don't even think it was. I thought it was a very light knock. But you're going to take, if it was the other way around, I'd be wanting a free kick as well.
That quick, it's difficult not to come away with things like that. It was accident, wasn't it? It is what it is.
Trippier gets a yellow card, but Carl, I want you to talk about this because we have not that we have different opinions, but you see the equaliser from Chelsea differently to me in terms of a great finish from Raheem Sterling. We both agree on that, but you think a little bit more could be done. Yeah, I think just from my angle, I was saying to Chris, where we were sat before he'd even took the free kick, you could see the way that Raheem was lining up, that the only place he was going was to the near post. So I was just a bit, like I said to you, I was a little bit critical of the fact I thought Nick Pope, I was surprised that he was so central, to be honest. I thought he would have been looking to go towards his right hand side, and he's just obviously just rooted. And you said, you think it was just that good of a free kick, and that's absolutely fair enough. I just think, if I can see it, I'm surprised Nick Pope didn't see it. But it is what it is, like you say. Before that, Trippier's had him in his back pocket. Raheem scored a good free kick, even though I think Pope potentially could have done better, but haven't watched it back. And then he absolutely gives it to the crowd, and at that point, I'm like, ooh, it's a bit early for that, son. It is a bit early. Just to be devil's advocate, is Nick Pope trusting his wall? Is that why he's going? Is that why he's letting them be in that position in terms of the free kick itself? Possibly,
mate, because it is one of those where it's so close you kind of expect the opposition to do well, but you've still got to get it up and over the wall. So for Aaron, we didn't talk about that before, but looking at it from your perspective, I suppose he's done very well to do that. I guess Nick Pope probably was looking at the wall to do better.
And I think I said to one of the lads, I think Newcastle probably shaded the first half. I don't think there was much in it. Chelsea had one really good opportunity when Nick Pope made a fantastic save towards his left-hand side.
Point on the goal, I think it's Jamaal Lascelles' fault.
Yeah.
He's the one who gives the ball away.
Yeah.
I pointed that out before the free. I think the free kick's a great free kick.
Yeah.
And obviously Sterling gets booed for the rest of the game because he comes right in the Newcastle fans and celebrates. You kind of get that, but it's Lascelles, isn't it?
I'm not against that. Like a lot of people, people are going to kick off, but you want a bit of banter in football, don't you? At the end of the day,
it's 2023.
We're always going to give it him back. I actually like Raheem Sterling, so fair play to him for that. But it was
he's my friend. No, Raheem's my friend.
It was too early for it, though, wasn't it? It was one of those. You do something like that, you better fucking back it up.
I think it's a great free kick.
Yeah, it is a fantastic free kick.
The Pope thing, when you said about that, it's an unbelievable save. Because I think was it Gallagher?
It was a great save.
It's a great save, but only a few minutes later, Johnny, what's he doing there? Trying to dink it outside of his box.
Well, I was just about to mention that. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Can you understand? Not that we agree with everything that Southgate does, but can you understand?
Yeah.
Because Sam Johnson doesn't do that. I think Pope's a better shot stopper than Johnson, but Johnson doesn't do that.
I think Nick Pope is the best shot stopper in England, if I'm being honest.
And I agree with you. I sat there and I was like, he doesn't need to work on that. Work on his fucking distribution. That's it.
It reminds me of Shea Given all hour.
I think it's a bit harsh to Shea Given, but I get where you're coming from. But
yes, because Shea Given was like worldies every single game. Nick Pope doesn't have to do 10 saves a game.
No, he doesn't.
Bless him, Shea Given has to.
All I will say is that I'm comfortable with Newcastle having a conversation about the Aaron Ramsdale situation, in my opinion. When you look, either, because if you think push each other, because if you think about it, he's 6 or 7 years younger than Nick Pope. His distribution's a lot better. Not as good shot stopping. I'll put that out there. But there's something that can be worked on. I'm not against that in the long term. But again, short term, Nick Pope is still not Newcastle's number one, and I still have faith in him. But that is a big weakness, and that is the modern goalkeeper. Get your thoughts on that. It'll be really interesting to hear the comments in regards to that. Talking about a free kick, Kieran Trippier had one in the first half off the crossbar. I think if it was about half a yard lower, I don't think Sanchez would get in there. But
I thought Sanchez fucking saved it as well. I didn't realise it come off the bar at first.
Yeah, in terms of.
And by the way, I don't rate Sanchez.
No, I think he's bang average. How can Brighton's number 2 be Chelsea's number 1? I don't know. But in terms of that chance, and probably a chance that we'll see back on Match of the Day later on tonight, Joelinton, how does he miss from the corner where Sanchez is a bit all over the place and it just goes wide?
Yeah, the free kick, first of all, was like, oh, what you can do, Raheem, I'll try and do better than. It was almost like identical, but that Joelinton one straight after half time. Was it the same? Yeah, it was just before half time. He heads it, and I didn't notice. I thought it was shared first because we kind of take the one to Gallagher, and then we stand up and we're like, Joelinton, he's 4 yards. How's he put that wide? And we think, oh, I hope that doesn't come to bite in the backside, but it didn't, thankfully.
It certainly didn't. And Carl, half time comes, and I think both teams would have been satisfied with that. I think it was a good game of football. Even like if you're a neutral, I think you would enjoy that. Second half. First minute, Lascelles makes an error and Chelsea get a free kick, very similar position, but Reece James decides to sky it over the crossbar and Newcastle got away with one. But credit to Jamaal Lascelles, because there's a few question marks, because obviously Botman's not involved and can he make the step up, and he has been fantastic. But what he has done, he's put Newcastle ahead and with a fantastic header. Poor marking, I have to say, that really poor defending from Chelsea, but great cross from Anthony Gordon. Lascelles Fraser Bird, and he couldn't miss, could he?
No, well, I mean, you could, but he shouldn't, and he didn't, because it was an absolutely fantastic header. Top bins, just textbook Alan Shearer-esque. It was a really, really good header, and as you say, he's been an excellent step in for Sven Botman. And today he's made a couple of mistakes, things that he hasn't necessarily made over the last few weeks, but. No detriment to him at all. It's actually a testament to his character, and that he didn't let that get to him at all. Made a couple of mistakes, like you said. One's initially cost us a goal, but Jamaal Lascelles, I thought, was had a very, very, very good performance again, bar a couple of blips. But the fact that he was able to get over them so quickly just cements the fact that I'm no longer worried about having him at the back, and I don't think any of us have been since he's been in this season. So happy for him.
Yeah, really, really good. And that was a crucial moment. But
Just trying to get this going.
No, that's all right. The biggest moment,
40.
Yeah, 40s, yeah. We'll get 40 in a minute. We'll talk about Joelinton scoring a goal, which I know you'll be absolutely buzzing about, and we'll get his opinion on in a second. But Lee, massive moment, because Newcastle have just taken the lead. The crowd are buzzing. Of course we are. We're 2-1 up. Thiago Silva, wow, nearly 40. He actually had a good game until then, but
Older than 40.
Older than 40, can you believe it? Older than 40. And he makes an error. Joelinton puts the pressure on him, and Joelinton's good first touch into the box, can't miss. Surely he can't miss from there, and he doesn't, does he?
I'm sorry, that is awful defending.
You don't expect that from him, do you?
We don't even expect that from Mankiw, Emil Krath or whatever. That is appalling defending. That it's misconcentration and maybe the tiredness kicking in, but that's shocking. That is shocking from his standards. That's appalling. But Joelinton, Brazilian against Brazilian, pinches it off him. Thank you very much. Good night. 2 goals in 2 minutes? Game over.
Yeah, game over. You would have had one of the best, probably the best moments of looking at that particular goal, because you're right front row and centre. You can't miss. No. But
I was actually celebrating before he put it in, so I was fucking begging that he scored. But yeah, it was.
Were your eyes kind of almost coming out of your eye sockets because of the fact that it's Thiago Silva who's made that mistake?
I had to double take, and again, I didn't actually realise again until Chris said that was Thiago Silva, and even then I was like, "Are you sure?" He was like, "Yeah," and I was like, couldn't believe it, and it was quite funny because a lot of people around us were saying that it was a has-been, and you think, he's had a really good first half performance, and then he goes and does that. So, yeah, he's for someone who's been absolutely world class for the majority of his career, you don't expect that.
You certainly don't. I'll tell you what.
Brazilian counterpart as well, by the way.
Certainly. I'll tell you what you don't expect either is Reece James to be sent off. 40, come in, 40. Yeah, come on. No.
Bring him in at full time.
We'll bring him in a full time when Eddie Howe's had a chat, and then we'll have the 40-minute. Yeah,
segment.
Yeah, the 40-minute. Welcome back to the 40-minute. Yeah, if it wasn't game over at 3-1, Reece James getting sent off. The first yellow card was really stupid. I think it was more back chat than anything else. And then the second one was obviously a definite yellow card because he was in on goal. He was in on goal. He makes a mistake and he panics, and it was 3-1 and against 10 men. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah, I mean, the crowd made me laugh the banter because they were singing Lauren James was better, your sisters. What was the chatting again? Your sister's better than you or something like that. But awful day at the office for all the Chelsea backline, wasn't it? And Anthony Gordon, you know, when you're 2-1 up and you're 3-1 up, you've got a little bit more confidence to run. Because I thought first half James was getting in, not loads of joy on the right hand side, but you can see he's powerful, he's a unit. The problem is he's just kind of keeping fit. But it's the second yellow and you just enjoy yourself now. You think that's it. We said game over 3-1. When you get a red card, you know, you're just waiting for the fourth to come along and you're asking for another one to come because it was all one way.
Cheerio, wasn't it?
Cheerio. They were singing about your sister as well, that she's a better player than him. Because I know they go and watch each other quite often. They're quite close, so not as close as Neymar and his sister, mind, but not quite that level. But anyway, moving on.
Yeah, we'll move on really quickly. 4-1, Anthony Gordon, a cherry on top of a lovely cake on a Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock at St James's Park.
Pass first. That pass was disgusting.
Well, take it away.
Disgusting little reverse pass through to Anthony Gordon, and that was just such a nonchalant finish. You know, he's got two players in front of him. I didn't think he really had any right to shoot from there, to be honest. And lo and behold, it goes in, and he just casually goes off to celebrate, kisses the badge, just shows his adoration for Newcastle, and you know, he's just become a cult hero already. I fucking love him. I love him.
Do you know what it is? It's something about the number 10, isn't it? Yeah. We've had fantastic number 10s. It's been a week of 10s in terms of other teams getting 10-point deductions, and then the number 10 scores for Newcastle. Can you believe it? It's amazing. Yeah. And it actually is -10 down the northwest as well. Right. 4-1, definitely game over. Eddie Howe takes the piss by bringing the kids on.
Good to see as well, really good to see.
But
I like that.
But I want to single out a couple of players after we hear from Eddie Howe, because Eddie, you've won the game 4-1. Thank you, well done.
The character within the squad, the ability to be resilient and in difficult moments respond. We really asked the players to step up today, the ones that were fit and here, available, and they did. And I thought we deserved to win. It was a top-class performance, and I thought there was some really big positives for us to take from today. Yeah, well, I think that's down to the individuals that we have, the leaders within the group. They're so important, they set the tone. You've got people like Jamaal Lascelles, Kieran Trippier, and even Matt Ritchie, who's not started the game. When you've got those characters in your group, and I could go on and name several more, I think they set the tone for what's expected, and we don't surrender. Difficult moment for us, of course, and that won't change short term, but we've shown that we've got very good players still.
Whoa, can you believe it? There's 4 of us and we've just won 4-1. Can you believe it? Where did you come from? It's 40's here as well, just to talk about post-game sort of stuff. Just quickly, 4-1. Newcastle battered Chelsea second half and deserved winners in the end. Yeah. I want to hear more from Eddie Howe in terms of the injuries later on. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But in terms of how Eddie Howe, with the limited team that he's got, he did extremely well tactically as well, didn't he?
Yeah, listen, I haven't got much value to add. I've just listened to you boys talk about, pretty much dissect the game. But all I want to do is just bring up that conversation me and you had about Lascelles and Botman. So when Botman comes back into the side, is Lascelles getting back in the team now? Is Lascelles staying in the team now?
This is what I brought up. Carl brought this up a couple of weeks back.
Yeah. So now...
I haven't said that though. He was a mistake for the first goal. Gives the ball away. You did redemption.
There we go. So that's what I'm saying. I'm going to put it to you again. Yeah. When Botman's ready, fit and ready, is he going to walk straight back into the team, or is Lascelles going to be like, nah, I'm doing my thing?
Do you know what it is, Fordy? Like, I have to admit, Lascelles has been absolutely brilliant, but Botman definitely walks back into this Newcastle defence because he's our best centre half. Fabian Schär again has been outstanding. I must say that, but just the pure Botman defending that we've seen for pretty much 18 months, he's just absolutely outstanding. But I have given credit to the skipper before, so if you haven't seen that list, go back and prove him wrong. Carl, Tino Livramento, how good is he at football?
He is far better than I expected him to be. I knew he was going to be good just from I expected him to from that one season he had at Southampton. The money, I still thought the money that we paid for him was a bit extortionate regarding him having a whole season out.
Do you still think that now?
Absolutely no. That kid is so casual. The way he reads the game is second to none, in my opinion. He genuinely has such a high ceiling because he's so calm, so composed. Playing against world-class wingers, and it just doesn't faze him. Not only that, he's not played that many games.
And he's actually got quite decent feet as well, if you notice.
Yeah, carry on, mate.
No, I was just going to say he's got quite decent feet for a right back. Usually it's just like a basic, give it to someone better, but he can actually play further up the pitch as well.
100%. And it didn't work necessarily against Dortmund, did it, that first half? But that said, like Fordy said, he's technically very, very good. And there's times where he takes it to the byline, he'll have two men on him, he's still looking for the run or a little touch inside to go for a run, and just think he's got bags of potential about him, and already an excellent fullback.
Is that the exciting thing, Lee? What Carl just said there, the potential of this kid. Yeah, he basically said that probably the best thing is that he's got so much potential, but he is outstanding. He has been outstanding so far in the games that we've seen. We've seen him pocket Jack Grealish. We've seen him have a fantastic performance up at Old Trafford, and in the Premier League, Dan Burns got injured, and we're not worried about it. Of course, we're worried about the injuries altogether, which we'll mention in a second. But I think that kid was outstanding today. I think there's an argument for man of the match for him today.
It is. You can swap them, Trippier and Livramento, because Trippier plays over there for England. But if he keeps playing well, why do you need Dan Burns back in the side? If he keeps playing well, because we keep saying, Dan Burns not left back, Livramento's not left back, not naturally. So there's an argument to be had there if Livramento keeps playing well, and as Trippier gets older in the next couple of years, he's 33. You kind of keep playing. I'll be very surprised if he plays 90 minutes twice a week, twice over. But yeah, there's room for improvement. It's a lot of excitement. Obviously, Lewis Hall couldn't play today because he was ineligible, but Livramento would have loved that because that's his former side. So yeah, there is a few academy players that were brought through and that we've bought. The future's bright.
Future is definitely bright. This is now a little segment called Newcastle United's injury update. We'll be doing this from now until probably the end of December. So Willock gets injured, Lee, in training. Longstaff wasn't ready to play today. Hopefully he's back for Tuesday. We are down. If we were down to the bare bones against Bournemouth, we're still at the bare bones stage, and it's getting very, very worrying. I'm not saying sack off the Champions League, but there's just no expectation anymore in the Champions League, surely.
So two things on that is, I think this is the first time in history that we've, as a club, had 3 goalkeepers named on the bench for a competitive game ever. And it might also be a Premier League record, but don't quote me on that, but I'm going to predict it probably is. Because that goes to show you when you've got 3 Premier League goalkeepers, and you've got loads of kids, barring Dummett and Richie, we are stretched. Thankfully, the positives were Bruno was back from his suspension, and he made it look really great again. It's a different dimension going forward. Isak, as we say, imagine if those two weren't there. Could you imagine? Hopefully Sean at least makes the bench on Tuesday. As I say, I think will be the same 11.
But no Richie. Obviously Hall kind of swaps Richie because Richie's not in the Champions League squad.
So yeah, same. And there was no Kraft on the bench either. So we're stretched. We've just got to get through on Tuesday. I think we've got to get a point at least to stay in the competition. If not, we're playing for 3rd place, and hopefully Dortmund then beat Milan. Hopefully then we'll beat Milan at home.
Yeah. Fordy, Bruno just it makes our midfield tick, doesn't he? He's such a big miss when he's not playing, and Lee touched about there being how vital he is today, particularly second half. If he can control his temper, but I like the temper as well because it's just that a bit of aggressiveness, but just cool it a smidge. Outstanding. Him and Joelinton and Miley, it works really well today.
Yeah, it did surprisingly well, and I've got to give an honorary shout out to Miley as well. I got on his back the last time I was here in the Man City game. What was the game that he got
Man City Cup game.
Yeah, he got hauled off at half time or something like that. Yeah. So again, I've got to give him his props where it's due. Great assist for the first goal.
Didn't you have a right go at him that night, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
That's horrible, that, isn't it?
But I can remember that, and I can give him his flowers where it's due. Yeah. Not like some people over here anyway. But yeah.
It's awful, isn't it?
But yeah, big credit to him. Fantastic assist, and again, he just looked like he's been playing for years in the centre of the park. And Joelinton, what a week he's had. Sent off for Brazil.
Unfairly, by the way. Unfairly.
Still got sent off. Missed an absolute sitter.
How bad was that?
That was terrible. Absolutely awful. But again, credit to him, he made up for it. And the way he celebrated with the fans, oh my God, it's like if he won the lottery.
Yeah,
so fantastic.
It must be a Brazilian thing because Bruno got up to see Bruno when he got fouled. He lost his head, and funny enough, it was an Argentine who was against him in midweek, who stopped him, and Endo Fernandez said, wait a minute.
Passionate in them South American players.
Fernandez doesn't get in the way there.
Yeah.
I've got a big love for Enzo Fernandez for that split second there, like, I have to be honest.
Just for a second.
Here is the updated Premier League table. All the games have been played. Man City 1, Liverpool 1. We are still 6th at this moment in time, regardless of the results that have happened today, because we were 5 points behind Manchester United. We're 5 points behind Aston Villa, rather, a point behind Manchester United. They don't play till tomorrow. When you look at the table, 6th, Carl, we've just got to be there or thereabouts after the Liverpool game on New Year's Day, because it's so many games, and that we have got a few difficult games, a few not as difficult games, but let's just stay in the conversation. I think that's what's got to be the message, surely.
Definitely, I think it's I don't think we'd have expected more if we were realistic. You know, taking on the Carabao Cup, taking on the Champions League, the extra games, and that it was always going to be difficult to just start hitting the top 4 and then competing from there throughout, like we did last season. And then obviously we've had the hindrance of the injuries as well. So the fact that we're even anywhere near it for me is huge success so far. I'm still happy. Don't get me wrong, there's teams that we've lost to that we shouldn't have lost the Liverpool game. You look at the Bournemouth game, we think we should be beating them, but at the end of the day we're very, very stretched, so credit to Bournemouth as well. We didn't have the players to do what we wanted to do. I'm happy. And as you said, I think as long as we're in and around there, we can have a go at it towards the end of the season. I don't expect us to do much in the Champions League moving forward, and I think if the club are smart about it, honestly, I'll just knock it on the head. Have a go next season. We need to recruit massively in January. We've got a better opportunity in the Carabao Cup. Focus on that in the league for me, and anything is a bonus.
I was also going to say as well, if that's the team that they bring in for the Carabao Cup, it's ours. It's ours.
I forgot about that. I forgot we've even got them in the
Carabao Cup. So if that's the team that they're going to bring, it's ours. We've already beat Man City, we've already beat Man United, and we just flipping demolished them here. So if that's the team that they want to bring, literally, that is ours.
Well, exactly. Chelsea on the 19th of December. Me and Lee will be at Stamford Bridge on a week before Christmas. Let's wrap things up. Just quickly, man of the match for you tonight.
It's a good, tough one, isn't it? I don't know. Shea was great. Gordon was great.
Yeah, Gordon was good as well.
Trippier was much better second half. Lascelles was apart from the mistake, was good. Isak was good. I'm going to get Bruno because I think we just played differently. Results echo that, and we always seem to not lose when he plays. So I'll go Bruno, but 0.01 better.
Man of the match, you, Carl?
I thought Kieran Trippier was fantastic. I actually thought he had Sterling in his back pocket in the first half, and even more so in the second. I'll go Trippier. It was close between him and Tino.
I was going to say Trippier as well. I think he made up for his mistake leading to the free kick that obviously led to their goal, and then since then, unlucky to get on the score sheet as well. So yeah, Trippier man of the match.
I'm going to stick with Lee. I'm going to go Bruno. Livramento, by the way, so close, but Bruno just makes us tick. 2 for Bruno, 2 for Trippier. Who's right, who's wrong? Let us know in the comments. Is it somebody else? Let us know as well. Newcastle have started where they've left off in terms of the St James's Park. They just love winning here, don't they? They love winning here. 4-1 winners today. It's PSG up next. He's doing that trip. I'm staying at home because I'm scared.
Got the women's as well. Make sure you tune in for the women's because I'll be doing a vlog.
Yeah.
Because I'm staying in that area anyways, flying the next night. So women's video as well.
Yeah. Chorley away tomorrow in the FA Cup.
It's next to Liverpool. This is basically Scammerdale, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll be freezing down there. Make sure you're wrapped up.
I will be. I've got to take all my little wrap up and all this. And I'm going to Paris with Carl's brother. Who's petrified. Chris, if you're watching, I'm going to tell the whole world now what that means. He asked me to go from my airport to your airport just to go into Paris.
From my airport to your airport.
Have a word.
I think on that note, I think we should wrap things up. Like and subscribe to Newcastle Fans TV. Have a great night. Have a couple of beers. That's probably the best thing that was being said all night. Good night.
Don't wanna want you. Why do I want you back? Don't wanna want you. Why do I want you?